Dylan, did you catch Google I/O 2026 last week?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
What? No, I'm just kidding. So if you don't know what Google I/O is, it's like their yearly conference where they just kind of give updates on stuff they're working on, what's coming out within the next year. Obviously, this year, most of it was focused on AI and changes to their AI ecosystem. So I just kind of wanted to go through some of these announcements and maybe look at how those, or what takeaways small businesses could take from that, and maybe some things they need to be ready to change about how they manage their online business. So,
okay, nice.
If you listen to yesterday's episode, this first one's going to be pretty obvious, but search is becoming conversational and agentic. So, in the past, people would search Google for plumber, Oklahoma City, and then click around. But now people are getting very specific. They'll go to Google and just be like, I have this issue where my sink does this. Who should I call? And the AI goes and fetches
or what part do I need?
Yeah, or that. So specifically, Google's releasing their Gemini 3.5 Flash model, which is basically their agentic model. So they're adding information agents that monitor the web and send updates. So it's basically just talking about the shift in SEO from keywords to more like you have to have structured data and trustworthy data, which can come down to, listen to yesterday's episode because we went really detailed into it, but you need reviews, you need as much data about your company as you can put on your website. And that'll help you show up in this new AI search era.
And structured in a way that the platforms request you to structure it. So if you do have like a web guy or gal who's doing your social media stuff, like make sure that they are up to date on the latest ways of structure. I did have a quick idea before we leave this.
Yeah.
This part. So like people are searching, not plumber near OKC, they're like saying, who do I need to hire to fix this water leak or something like that? Or they're called long tail keywords, like not so specific, but they're more specific, I guess I would say. They're a lot longer, but they mean, they need a specific outcome. I think this brings an opportunity. I mentioned when you said, who do I hire to fix this? I mentioned in response to that, or like, what part do I need to fix it? I think AI is giving people more power or access to more information. So people may feel more confident to replace their own headlight in their car or replace a coupling on a pipe under their sink. And so people may be searching for what parts do I need? And that's an opportunity. If your business is healthy and you're trying to grow, you're trying to figure out that next stage of business, maybe you're at like 5 million a year and you're trying to get to 10, that next plunge may actually be you get into the e-commerce business and you compete with the Lowe's and Home Depot, who the AI is going to suggest, like, here's the part you need. And here's the link on Amazon to buy it. Here's the link on Home Depot to buy it. You have a unique opportunity as a service provider to provide those products, and then your service comes in to make it easier. So maybe your pricing is set up in a way where you buy the product from us here and we'll come install it. And you build an offer around somebody buys a part online and you set up a time to install it. Or maybe your call to action isn't buy online. It's like, set up a time for us to come install this for you. And so I think we're going to be in an interesting world where, since people are more confident in solving their own problem, especially since YouTube, I think we've seen this since YouTube, but with the LLMs now making it that much easier to essentially summarize YouTube videos, you don't have to like, gosh, this guy has to talk for 2 minutes about his channel instead of actually solve the problem. It's like we can skip all the fluff and get to the how to solve the problem. The AI knows what to suggest to you. And then if it suggests your product page, like here's, Joe the plumber's, PVC pipe coupling page. I don't know, I'm not a plumber, but here's their page related to this specific product. And that product is like, here's what you need to do. Here's how you buy it. And by the way, we'll install it for you and have your offer there and make it a lot more attractive than buying it from Amazon, buying it from Home Depot. It's essentially, we'll bring the van out and the van's the warehouse. Like you're not buying a specific coupling, you're buying your problem getting solved. Yeah. And so these small businesses have an opportunity to get into that space.
Yeah, and pair that with like quick service. If you get out there same day, something like that, that would really increase your chances of, getting that customer.
Yeah, that'd be huge. All right.
I'm just going to go through the highlights of the event, and then we'll kind of look at what the small business owner can do. So we looked at search becoming more conversational. AI content creation is getting easier. So Google showed their Omni model, which is pretty wild. You can, from a single prompt, it can generate like a video with text in the video with a voiceover and background music. So like
Amazing.
A full-on like infographic video from text, which is kind of cool. They're also adding, or it already exists, but they have like a invisible watermark on any AI generated images or audio, I believe.
So it's in the metadata, so where you upload it. Yeah, cool.
And they're working cross partners. They're trying to get everyone to buy into it.
So it's like a standard
to prevent like deepfake stuff. So currently you can upload an image to Gemini and ask, is this AI? And it can tell you if it contains that watermark or not.
Cool.
So they're trying to push that to expand that. The next one is Workspace is turning into an operating system for admin work. So we've talked about this. There's all of Google's apps, Gmail, Docs, all those are it's becoming a lot more interactive than just writing a Word document. So you can like they showed a demo for Docs where you can just hit your microphone and just talk through your idea about what you want the doc to be, and it'll generate that doc. So you don't have to just say like the transcript directly. You just say, I want to build a document about my dentist office, blah, blah, blah.
Or like we've said before, like interview me as if you're a new employee. Say this to the AI. Like, interview me as if you're a new employee trying to solve XYZ problem. And then the AI asks you, the domain expert, the relevant questions. And that's how you build real good documentation and real good prompts. Is like not using the AI to answer everything for you, but pull out only the stuff that you know so you can duplicate yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to your previous point, shopping discovery may become more Google controlled. They're introducing universal cart, which is essentially you can add products to your cart across search, Gemini, YouTube, and Gmail, regardless of the merchant. So it's going to be very like detached from traditional e-commerce because you're not going to go to a store to add your products. You're going to search for what you need, add it, search for something else, add it. And those could be coming from two different merchants, but it's kind of tied together in the universal cart. And having that also directly in YouTube, I feel like is going to be pretty interesting. Because I guess like TikTok already has that with the TikTok shop, but I don't think YouTube necessarily has that yet.
No, they do have a tab. If your channel has products, you can integrate. Like, you know how you can have recommended video? Like, there's like recommended products, and you could have links to those in shorts and long videos as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw they also introduced Ask YouTube, which is basically a chat interface that will like summarize your question. So I think the example is like, how can my kid learn to ride a two-wheel bike if they're used to riding a tricycle? And it'll answer that with supplementary videos specifically about that.
Mm-hmm. So then you can essentially choose your experience. You can read about it or choose a video or probably a specific part of the video to watch. That's nice.
Yeah, which is wild. And then the fifth one is AI agents will lower the cost of software. We know that, but Google's really pushing their anti-gravity coding workflow for that.
Do you think that'll be part of like their Workspace suite of tools?
Like, so
they have like Google Keep, which is like their project management. There's Gmail. I'm wondering if like their agentic coding stuff will be more integrating into that.
Probably. I think a big push, something they were mentioned is like you can keep your laptop open. So I think it's going to all be like cloud-based. So it only makes sense if they tie it all together, I feel like, because it's kind of Google's like their moat is everything works together and it's all cloud.
If there was like an anti-gravity app that's like you log into your Google account and then it already connects to all the APIs for your Workspace tenant. Yeah. And then you can start to vibe code automations between everything. So like when an email comes in, send it to this agent, which decides which Google Keep board to put it on. Mm-hmm. And then you have an agent watching each individual Google Keep board. And then those notified people, like that would be essentially take this vibe coding experience to automate your Google Workspace.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be huge. And then, you can trigger a bunch of downstream sub-agents across different apps, update this sheet, and then, that'd be cool. Okay, so those are kind of the highlights I wanted to hit on. So then I wanted to look at some takeaways that a business owner can do to get ready for this. Again, listen to yesterday's episode because number one is audit your Google presence. So you just want to update your Google business profile, your product service page. I feel like FAQs are very important because a lot of times people are asking questions into these AIs. So
Yeah.
just very clearly answering those questions ahead of time. Number 2 is building an AI answer kit. So this is basically a living document with your services, your prices, your area. Again, basically like the FAQs. It's just a way for the AI to read like all of your answers to any question a potential customer may have.
Yeah. Or even your employees may have. Like if you are a business owner and your phone's getting blown up after hours or while people are on the job, if you're trying to do, QuickBooks work, trying to get your accounting set up, and then people are out in the field trying to fix something, or like, hey, what do we do? What product do we upsell in this situation? If you start keeping inventory of all those questions you're asked, and then you throw it up somewhere, so then your employees can then go talk to your own custom agent, or your employees have a document that they can reference, so both your customers intake, they have something, and then also your internal employees have a document. Essentially, it's your business brain all in one place.
Yeah, right.
And infactodigital.com, we do a webinar for small business owners where we talk about use cases. One of those use cases is actually building a documentation engine for small business owners to train their employees to use. So imagine somebody asked you something and you're like, oh, this is great knowledge to put into our, business brain. I talk about a use case where you set up a text agent where you just send a text message to a number, which stores everything you send it in the cloud. And then that same number, your employees can text that agent and say, hey, we have this problem. How do we solve this? And then if that question's been answered, then the agent will text back the employee with the answer to that question. So building this AI answer kit is totally valid. And there's some creative ways to implement that. So sign up for the webinar if you want like practical hands-on help with figuring that out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And number 3 is starting a short form video pipeline. So this goes back to, just marketing with light or actual video of you doing your job. So this is easier than ever now. If you can just record, Dylan mentioned in a previous episode, if you have the Meta glasses, you can just record your like POV while you're doing the job. But then you can use the new like Gemini Flow tools and basically just automate the editing of that if you want to keep it in the Google ecosystem. We've talked about this before, automating one back office workflow per month. So just finding your highest pain point with the lowest risk of messing up something that a customer may see. Just find...
Yeah. I was going to go to the matrix there. So that the matrix is like if you have like 5 problems you want to look into automating, you want to write them all on a sheet of paper, and then like right next to it, you put up like, how much effort it takes. And then, no, it wasn't effort. I knew the matrix right before I started talking about it.
You got this, Neo.
Hold on, I'm going to go back to the notes. Toil. Okay. You score from 1 to 10 on how much toil or how much pain it causes. And then you score each one from 1 to 10 to how risky it is to automate. So if this is like interacting with bank systems, super high risk. If it's something that takes you 2 hours a day, super high toil. And so you want to sort those after you've scored each one by toil and risk. You want the ones with the highest toil and lowest risk. So something you're spending a good amount of time on each day, and you want something that has extremely low risk. So something that you can easily correct, but it's also annoying to do. So that's the super quick summary of how to automate one thing a month, kind of how to prioritize that one thing.
Yeah. Nice. And then finally is just prepare for agent-driven customers. This again goes into yesterday's episode where you just want to make sure that your digital presence is aligned to work well with this AI search.
Yeah.
And I just encourage everyone, if you find these tools interesting, you can watch a recap of that video of the presentation itself, or just dive into Gemini and start playing around, because there's a lot of cool new stuff that Google has added and is adding. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's episode. I just wanted to hit on those highlights from Google I/O 26.
Nice. If you liked this show and you're like super excited about figuring out what makes sense to automate in your business, before you go and start to do that, first make the list of the top things you want to do. Sort them by the most toil and least amount of risk. And then you can go to infactodigital.com with that list and then schedule a meeting with me. And I'll actually help you go through that list and help you give you my insight based on my experience automating things, building software for companies one company doing 1.7 billion a year, building systems for them. I'll give you a free outline strategies, what you do, for the next 4 weeks to automate that. And if it seems like a lot, I'd be happy to come on as a consultant and help you do that. But I'll give you the strategy, the things you need to do, things you can take to your own contractor if you want to. That part's absolutely free. So if you want actual help figuring this out, that's the best place to go. Infactodigital.com. There's a link in the description. But if you want to if you thought this was helpful, you're going to go do this on your own, and you want to just support the show, you want to say thanks to us, or you want to build goodwill with some of your friends, Jackson has some good advice for you.
Yeah, and just share this episode with one person. You don't have to post it on your profile or anything. Just find one person you think would gain some value from hearing this episode and just recommend it to them. It'll also make you look really good if they find it valuable. They're going to be like, whoa, this guy knows everything.
Yeah. If you want to be known as the AI guy when it's Christmas time and you're around all the family and you're asking, how do I use AI? You're going to be the person because you've been sending clips of this podcast and you're going to think it's valuable. They're going to not even care about us. They're just going to, people care more about the source of their source of information than they care about the actual source of it. So that's the most unselfish recommendation. We actually hate it because then people give you all the credit, not us. But
yeah,
what are you going to do?
Yeah, please don't share it, actually.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today. And that's actually it for this week. So we'll see you guys on Monday.
What a good week.
What a week. Later.
Bye.